Couch Theories. I've got my friend Steph here today. We are going to be talking about friendship and all good things that are surrounded with that. We're gonna just, start off by friendships. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so let's start off with when we started being friends. Let's see. I think 7th or 8th grade.
It was a little bit of the end of 7th, and then 8th grade just popped off.
Right. So I think we had the same English class.
School.
It was 7th grade. So we had the same English class, and we sat like somewhat next to each other. Yep. It's all coming back to me.
There we go. Damn. It's been a while, y'all.
Let
me tell you.
12 years, dude.
Oh my God. Leadership. Here we go. Down.
School.
It was fun. Honestly, like, the biggest topic that I kind of wanted to, like, touch on mostly is how to keep friends and, like, what that all entails, because I feel like not a lot of people get to have long friendships like us. And I kind of have just been wondering, like, what is it? Like, what does it mean to keep friends? What does it mean to, like, cut off friends? Like, what's the recipe to, like, having good friendships? You know what I mean?
I think, I don't know, recipe, but a lot of the things that I guess drew me to you is also just you yourself as a person have to be just a good-hearted person. You know, I feel like at that age in middle school, you're so lost and you just kind of want to go with the crowd and you kind of just want to do what other people are doing just to make them happy.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of the things that drew me to you is like you kind of, well, at least it appeared to me that you knew who you were. You know, you like you
Oh my
were
God.
whole. You were just kind of like were confident. You didn't really care about any people's like not the popular crap or like you didn't go with the trends. Like you did you. And
That is the best compliment ever. Thank you. Oh my God.
and like you just seemed very genuine as a person, and that is very attractive.
Thank you.
That's why I feel like you have as many friends far back as you do. I mean, you have friends like Taylor. And
Yeah.
you've been friends since preschool or kindergarten or
Bro,
whatever.
elementary school. I've been friends with Taylor and AJ since literally like 4th grade. Like that's when it was like, that's it. You know?
Yeah,
And
and
then all
usually-
through high school too. And
Fifth,
now.
6th grade, that's when you start, like, that's because you're in a transformation of your elementary self to middle school, and then you go through this, like, oh no, I'm too cool, you're going through puberty.
Yeah.
You're
Oh my
going
God.
through,
That
like,
is so much.
yeah, no, you go through so much as, like, that tween, preteen, like my nephew's going through it right now. He kind of has his squad, so I'm just like, now I get to see it happen, and
That's
it's like,
so fun. Oh my
it's just
God.
so cool to just observe. It's just like, this was us
Yes.
12 years ago.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see that with my kids. Like, dude, I think that's just like, I'm gonna start just like grab a bowl of popcorn, like glass of wine, just like watch them in my house, like in the pool for sure. Like I'm envisioning some nice house, like for real. But like, that's crazy. Thank you so much for like telling me what drew you to me. I find that such a blessing because like, I've always felt like I needed to be me. Like there's no one else I want to be but me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and I guess what drew me to you is that like you also, I feel like you just know what you're doing. Like you always gave me that vibe. Like, dude, like this is
Fake it
this
till
is
you make it. That was my motto.
It's exactly that. Like
Still live to it to this day.
That's literally, it's what will drive you to where you want to go. You just like, you're always organized and like you like just carry yourself in a way where like you don't mess with you because you know what you want, you know what you're doing, you know what to do. And like I guess that was attractive for me because I felt like that's what I was missing in some sort of way, like organization. Like I've always loved being organized but didn't know how, and like I just feel like you always helped me like do that. Like before we started filming, like she was like, create an Amazon list and this and that, and you'll just boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, dude, like that'll be so helpful for so much, literally.
I don't know. I feel like that took, because I'm the baby of my family, meaning like I didn't have any siblings, but I had a bunch of older cousins, so I got to kind of see and observe and just watch everything that they did. Obviously, they screwed up a lot. Like, let's be honest, like they were the first technically generation. I'm still technically part of the generation, but I was like that last
Yeah.
part of the era. So I just kind of we all came from immigrant parents.
Mhm.
So they got to kind of experience America in their way.
Okay.
Because their parents never
Okay.
experienced it here. So like they were also trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So of course, like
So observing.
yeah, they just went through life like, you know, I'm not gonna name my family business,
Yeah.
but like they had their trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
And me being the youngest, I was able to learn from all of that
Ah.
and just kind of observe and not say anything, but literally just watch, like he said, like
Yeah.
popcorn, just looking at
Yes.
everything. I'm over here like from I want to say I remember from when I was 7 to like 15. I mean even now, but like I really got to see how they live their life and like alter my choices and say, oh, is this the life I want to like model after?
Very good,
Or
Steph.
is this not what I want to do? Is want to like this is why I'm like completely different from my whole family. Like I kind of
I
consider
feel that.
myself like the black sheep only because it's just like I was so different because of them I got to learn from them. So that's why I was so different.
Okay,
So,
okay. Damn, that brought a lot of clarity as to like why I also feel like the black sheep, because I kind of took the same route. I was like, okay, well, I see all these people in front of me. I think this is an opportunity to better myself, because why not? Like literally these are all living proof of like the directions that if you go there, that's what you will get, because there's some kind of math and science into literally every decision you make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like
I just learned that there's a science to that. There's somebody, I don't know where in the government, but I learned, I forgot the position, but there's somebody who thinks of these type of odds
Yeah.
that, like, I forgot what show I was watching, but they predict that stuff so that they can predict, like, world wars and stuff. Like, if you make this decision against this political person, like,
yeah,
World War VII will happen, or
Literally.
like, whatever.
literally, yeah, all like it's literally makes me wish I paid more attention to math and science, y'all. If you're in high school or college, literally right now, like just sit and pay attention to that, because it will benefit your life in ways that you will not understand until later. Truly.
Okay, you might not think you're gonna use geometry or like letters and stuff, but you never know. Like, you never know what kind of field you want to go into. You
It's
never
true.
know what kind of life you want to lead. And although I personally don't think that the American education system covers everything you should learn
It's an interesting
to
topic.
live life,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely think they do give you a lot of the basics that could
Yeah.
navigate you to what future you want to have.
Yeah, no, truly. I think that's their job. Like, literally, is to just like, here's the basics. Now you got to add your flair to it. Like, go do what you want with that information.
And it's so funny because it's not just the topics in school, it's like what you learn socially, like in your friends group.
Yes.
That's where
Yes.
I feel like I learned
Woo.
so many life lessons from all the people I managed to stay friends with and all the people I didn't manage to stay friends with.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's talk about that now. So how do you cut people off? How do you know when someone's like not being a friend, or like a friend that deserves your time, or like something like that?
I mean, that also is a process. I think with growing in middle school and in high school, you are constantly questioning everything, where you're just like, oh, do I want to keep this person in my life? Because here's what I thought, and I learned after high school: the people that you really want to see in life, like you're gonna force yourself to see, because
Yeah.
you want them in your life.
Yeah.
But there are other people in your life that you literally were friends with them for the sake of convenience, because you went to school with them, because you had classes with them.
Mhm.
Like, there are some people that I didn't realize until after high school. I'm like, wow, it was because I was forced to be, I mean, not forced, I went to
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
and I was in a position where I saw them every day, so it was like a repetitive
Okay.
routine where our friendship was out of convenience, not really of anything real.
Okay.
So I think learning the difference between substance and convenience, that's
Ooh.
also
Okay.
a factor in like how you choose your friends, because there's some friends that I really thought like I had deep connections with, but it was truly one-sided, because
That's crazy.
I end up seeing them a few years later and like I feel like they don't even remember my name.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy, right?
To be honest, I don't really know too many people like that I could say like that. I maybe some old people that like I'd call a best friend, but like we're not best friends anymore.
Right.
Like that's the only thing I can come up with in my head that like relates to that. But that is kind of crazy stuff. Like I've never really had to cut too many people off because I feel like I've always had to be like question whenever I'm with someone, like, how do I feel when I'm with you? Like, do I feel good? And if that is a no, I immediately would just be like, okay, then you're not my friend. Like, legit. I guess that's what like helped me gear. And then I guess also the friends that I already did have, like I had so much love for them already that I felt like I didn't need to seek anywhere else.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy though.
Yeah, I think just it's hard because not everybody has that, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see people's true intentions. You can't see into somebody's heart just by having a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, you know, I feel so bad for kids nowadays because they have social media and they have so many things that distract them. And you know, with COVID and stuff, they really had a year, 2 years where they lacked physical like relationships with anybody.
Yeah, no, truly. I remember like, I mean, high school taught me so much, not only in like books, but like socially. Like when I was in leadership, I gained so many skills and like how to talk to people and like how to put myself out there. And like, it's just crazy, yeah, that kids literally had to like be home and lose that time. It's so precious. I kind of miss high school now, but like I only miss the like nutrition and lunch, bro. Like honestly, that's all I really cared about.
I mean, I miss the easy part of life where we didn't have to pay for bills, and the hardest thing was our AP exams and stuff like that.
Maybe that part.
I mean, do I miss high school? No. I mean, my husband would say the complete opposite. He would go back in a second.
I feel that.
But I feel like it depends on the type of high school experience you had. Like he
It's
was
true.
the high school jock. He was friends with everybody. He was also in leadership. He was a social butterfly. Where I was more of a wallflower.
Yeah.
If you've seen parts of being a wallflower, you will know.
But honestly,
understand.
truly, like I find gold in both those kind of people.
Yeah.
Because like you got to be an observer for longer than the people who are just like out there just doing. But you need both. You need both time to be just like chill and like watch what's happening and to be the doer. Like, you know what I mean? So either way, like I think you're a social butterfly now for sure. Like
it's
you
the process. That's why I'm like, if you are like this, if you are like this, trust me, you will evolve through time. Like butterflies are real, evolution is real. Like you won't stay the same person forever unless you make it so. Like it's all in the choices you make.
Yeah.
Because I decided to make certain choices where after I saw everything in life that was going on, I decided to make the opposite decisions. Obviously, it took me zigzag.
Yeah.
It took me to where I am now.
Yeah.
People will look at me sometimes and they'll say like, oh, her life is so picture perfect on paper because I did the traditional thing that every parent wants. I did my schooling. I got my own place, got a big girl job. I got married first. That's a very big thing.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
And then I had a baby.
I did everything backwards.
Which is okay, but like on paper, the traditional parents will be like, "Oh, she's A++ at everything in life."
She's been A++, bro.
No, but like it was just the route. I mean, I didn't mean to go the traditional way, but that's why I guess a lot of parents they do see me as like, and I hate this because I used to get this as a child, but like people will compare their kids to me and George.
I get you. Yeah,
because
I feel
obviously we got married and whatever, so they see our life and they see like, okay, you got married first, like you had your partner, whatever, that's the new age thing to do. To live with your partner first, then get married, then have a baby, and then like get a house and like somewhere along those order. And people will say like, oh, like why can't you be like that? And I'm like, this is why some friends don't want to be around us, because we get compared to like their own children, and it's just like when I was a kid, I was the screw up, and my mom would compare me to other kids and say like, oh, why can't you be like them? And then now it's the opposite. I'm like, I would never do that to my children.
Bro, comparison is a killer. Like truly, like I kind of learned that I've had to flip the switch, because I feel like a lot of parents also like, I'm compared in a lot of different scenarios for people, and it's just like, damn, if you only knew, like, it's a trip. But like, I see a benefit in comparison, and then I see the very destructive side of comparison. But like, I had to literally flip the switch and be like, you know what? If I'm gonna compare myself to anything, like, I'm just gonna use it as a reference, because comparison literally will like bring you down a spiral. And like, how is it that people can go and do that to other people when like everyone's unique? Literally every single person is unique, because what? We all have different life situations happening at different times with different people. Like, there's no point in comparing, because literally
the only person I compare myself to is who I was 5 years ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. I'm comparing myself to me, because I cannot compare myself to anybody else. Like you said, all I can be is me. And all the decisions I chose to make. And it's just like, yeah, a lot of people will say, like, I look good on paper, but they don't know the struggle I took to get there. They don't know I had to be, like, homeless, or I had to be broke, or hungry, or, you know, sleep on people's couches. Like, they didn't know, like, what I was willing to do for the sake of my freedom, for the sake of my relationship, for the sake of my friendships. Like, truly, there were things I had to go through hell and back, and it's just like, obviously I don't advertise that, but it's stuff that I think that's what built a lot of my relationships and my friendships. And I think if you remember,
that built your character.
Exactly, it's built who I am. And I don't know if you remember, like, one of my main honor speeches, like, I tend to find people who are going to be in my life forever. I guess early on in life, because I found her when I was 4 years old. Yeah. But I tend to keep the people that are just genuinely good people. Like, they may be going through different phases, but I know who I'm going to keep around in my life. Yeah. Because there are some people that I've tried, like, I've went through hell and back for them, but when I realized that they wouldn't do the same for me, they wouldn't even, like, pick up the phone if I called them at 2 a.m. Then that's the type of friend, like, I can't handle that. Like, that, like, it's not that a friend should serve you, because we're all here to serve each other. Yes, I agree. But that's facts, 100%. If they're draining you, if they're taking all of your energy, then that's clearly a soul-sucking person that doesn't deserve you. You know, and you have to really realize your worth, and I think that's where I had to lose so many people, because I didn't know my worth, especially when I was younger. I was such a people pleaser because I was the baby of the family. And I was like, okay, I was okay to everything. Like, anytime my cousins or my mom or my aunts told me to do something, I did it. That's what made me such a people pleaser. And that's why I drew in so many narcissists. I drew in so many people who were willing to take advantage of that. And when I finally got the confidence, that's when I started cutting people off. And I was like, you know what? I know my worth. I know what I deserve, and I don't deserve this anymore. So that's when I was like, I need to cut these people off. Like, I don't have to do it in a mean way. I don't have to do it. I just have to distance myself. Because you can love someone for a distance, or you can just, you know, no longer show up, and they finally start to realize, oh, where is so-and-so? Where is Steph? Like, oh, she was only here out of convenience, or she was only here, you know, like, she was the one that did so much for me, and, like, they only realize, like, that quote, you only realize once you got till it's gone, is so real, because they didn't realize it until I walked out their life, and I'm like, well, it's true. It's true.
It's funny you bring that up, because, like, that's kind of literally, like, what I'm going through right now. It's just like, damn, dude, like, you really do have to nurture every single type of, like, relationship that you want to keep, like, no matter who it is, because, like, and I guess I've also known this, like, in high school. It's like, I remember like, getting with Vince, and I was like, I need to make sure that I keep my friends happy too. I think that's a big thing that people do when, like, they get into a relationship with someone, is they'll, like, automatically forget about everyone else. And it's like, I knew immediately I can't forget about anybody else, because I would always hate when people would be like, oh, well, I got a significant other, okay, see you later, or never. And it's like, dude, if that person would ever leave and you come back, like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, come on, like, no. You need to nurture the people around you that you want to keep, and then, you know, everything
Right.
just falls through.
But to be devil's advocate, I can see why people lose balance because
Yeah,
like
so easy.
they'll think like, oh, my friends will be fine, but they won't see like their life is totally like out of control.
Yeah.
Because they won't realize that they're losing their friends until it's too late, and that's the sad part. It's just like you have to really be aware and present in all of your relationships, like you said. But it's hard because now growing up, we all have different lives. We all have kids, we
Oh,
have
hell yeah.
jobs, we on vacations. We all have different schedules. It's not like high school anymore where we all had summer vacation at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
well, me have some lit summer vacations.
Yeah.
But it was until after high school we had to really learn how to balance our life because you were going to college, I was going to school, working. I was, you know, and there were like brief months or even like a year or so that when I moved away that we kind of lost touch, but we tried to, you know, even with social media.
Girl.
But it's finding your way back to each other and like.
I also knew that we just always, like, no matter the distance and like the time, like I just always knew we'd catch up some way somehow because I also believe you're a genuine person.
Right.
So I think it's just about like even messages. Like when you message me like, hey, are you doing okay? Or like when I message you like, hey, you doing okay? It might not be as frequent as we want or need, but like the fact that we can do that for each other is a big thing. And I think that's like to really top and maybe tie it all together is like friendships take work, and I think having a small group of friends that you can really like nurture, that's how you keep friends. Like I don't have a ton of friends, but the friends that I do have, like I will put all my time and energy when it comes to like blocking that. Like friends, like okay, cool, there, that's for you. You know what I mean?
I mean, nowadays with with everything, one of my, I guess, formulas you could say is just the ACE method. All of the things in your life you can control are your attitude, your choices, and your effort.
Yes.
You can apply that to anything when it's your job, when it's your loved one, and when it's your friends.
Yes.
Those are the three things, and like, those are the three core things that are the things that build you as a person and you as like a friend.
Yes. Hell yeah. Damn girl, well that was a great talk about friendship, how to keep them, how to cut them off, just a little bit of history between us two. But yeah, thank you for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it.
Hope you learned something.
I hope you learned something more than anything. And if you watched this whole video, I love you, truly.
Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks!